Welcome to the channel, folks. Welcome to another video. Today we're talking fast, talking furious, going deep on Fast and Furious 6. What's the deal with this one? Some love it, some hate it, some just can't get over that runway. Picking apart Fast 6 today for some analysis of what makes this one pretty great. A very close second to Fast 5 in my mind, but flawed in a few ways. I cover some of the reasons in my review of Fast 6. See that video for more. Super quick recap first. Fast 6 opens with an obvious car-driven hit job on a Russian military convoy. Some pieces of important weapons kit have gone missing, matching a string of other heists. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is on the case. He has intel that Letty is still alive and uses that to recruit Dom and his team, knowing they are the only team that can compete with the bad guy vehicular warfare team. The team obliges, wins, and reunites with Letty. The movie does its best to recreate the team assembly montage from Fast 5. It works okay, but ain't that great. Roman's intro is appropriate and entertaining. Han and Giselle's intro is awkward.
I'm a citizen of the world.
Tej's is the worst, so forced and so cringe. But anyway, the team returns. That's the important thing. About the team intros, they did the minimum, but this movie knows that you can only introduce a team once, and that was done in Fast 5. So Fast 6 tried something else, and I think it was pretty clever, but ultimately didn't work. What they tried to do was highlight our hero team by using Shaw's enemy team as a foil. Typical strategy. A foil is not a new thing at all. The soulless precision bad guy team was meant to play this role and make our team shine that much brighter. But the way Fast 6 did this was unique and noteworthy. The way they did it was to directly contrast the teams. This is done on multiple levels. One is the surface level, which Roman points out, which is that they individually actually physically look like certain members of the enemy team. This is simple enough. The slightly deeper way they do it is with the underlying team dynamic. The contrast between the teams here is crucial and highlights why our heroes will win. They're not just a team put together of the best this and the best that. They are more than that. And in the cringe-worthy language of this franchise, they are a family. The discussion between Shaw and Dom highlights this, where Shaw straight up tells Dom that his emotion and connection to members of his team are his downfall.
You're loyal to a fault.
When it turns out this is his strength. This is on the nose as hell, like many of the things in this franchise, but it works well enough. It pushes the foil bad guy team to further highlight our hero team. There is another way Fast 6 highlighted the difference between the teams that is less on the nose, very clever, and that you may have missed. Here it is. Hobbs, played by The Rock, chooses his sidekick in this movie in a different way than he chose Elena as his sidekick in Fast 5. In Fast 5, remember, he chooses Elena Neves because she is driven, motivated, and is the only cop in Rio that can't be bought. In Fast 6, in stark contrast, he goes by the numbers in choosing Riley Hicks as a sidekick. In Riley's intro scene, he lists out her achievements and qualifications.
Top of your class at FLETC. Youngest RSO ever in Afghanistan.
Which is a bunch of grades, rankings, top of her class, tech talk, saying that if she is half as good as her resume says, that she'll end up taking his job.
If you're half as good as you are on paper, we're gonna get along just fine.
In Fast 5, when he lists off the reasons he chose Elena, it has to do with what kind of person she is, not how well she did on the test or her ranking in college. And guess what? It works out for him in Fast 5, as he's chosen Elena due to her qualities, not by a bunch of nonsense metrics. But it doesn't work out for him in Fast 6, where his impersonal, by-the-numbers strategy leads him to choose the girlfriend and colleague of the bad guy he is chasing. This is the story showing us that you can't work like that. It never works. The true connection that is generated by character, caring, and loyalty is important.
Ride or die.
Ride or die.
We see this again and again throughout the franchise. In Fast 1, we see Dom reject the Council of Vince, whom he has known for his entire life. Dom rejects Vince's advice again and again as he warns Dom about Brian. The rejection of his lifelong friend's counsel leads to Dom's downfall. We see it in Fast 5 when Reyes, who has the entire city and police force bought, is defeated by our close-knit and loyal family team. That same team and family also defeats The Rock's team in Fast 5, which seems much closer to Shaw's team in Fast 6 than Dom's team/family. The Riley Hicks spy reveal and the way she was introduced was purposeful to show us once again what works in this franchise and what doesn't. And while I'm here, I want to revisit and expand on an issue I've always had with the Riley Hicks spy reveal. Riley should not have been Shaw's girlfriend. This is totally out of place and against everything we've been told about Shaw. He is Mr. Precision, Mr. Well-oiled machine. It makes no sense for him to then have his love interest that close to Hobbs. He has just demonstrated that having loved ones involved makes the whole team vulnerable. Then turns around and shows he's affectionate with this person that is known and participating in it all. Riley should have just been one of the bad guys, shown to be a part of his soulless precision team that had the right attributes at the right time for Shaw to use. And of course, she did have those attributes, meaning that other than the stupid girlfriend reveal, it makes sense for Shaw to have Riley on his team, because Shaw goes only by the numbers, according to his dialogue with Dom. And if Riley is on Hobbs' team, then she makes even more sense on Shaw's team, as she'd be even more useful as a mole. She only makes sense on Hobbs' team if we think Hobbs will choose a sidekick in a different way than in Fast 5. Hicks has all the objective criteria showing she's great, but remember that Hobbs chose Elena in Fast 5 based on subjective criteria such as character and intelligence. integrity. He straight up tosses away Elena's actual credentials to list a bunch of things about her character, the exact opposite of what he says about Riley Hicks. Elena ended up being a good choice, Hicks not so much. So why would Hobbs then change and choose someone like Riley? Why did Hobbs do this? And even more important, why would Hobbs choosing someone like Riley have been predictable by Shaw? Well, I've said that choosing Elena was a good choice, but within the movies from Fast 5 to Fast 6, Hobbs probably thought that Elena was a mistake. After Fast 5, she ended up going to Spain with Dom after all, rather than remaining in law enforcement with Hobbs. This betrayal by Elena, though not obvious on screen or laid out for the audience, can be viewed as the catalyst that led Hobbs down the path of choosing his sidekick in Fast 6 the wrong way, by the numbers, leading him to Riley. Assuming Shaw has done his homework and knows about Elena, Hobbs behaving this way is perfectly predictable by Shaw, hence Shaw being more likely to choose Riley too, getting the mole in there. See how nice and neat that would have worked out? But nope, turns out Riley's just Shaw's girlfriend, and I guess it was just lucky she was chosen by Hobbs. What do you know? That's my more analytical breakdown of Fast 6. A good try at following Fast 5, but it didn't quite work. A few too many mistakes were made. The precision team versus family dynamic wasn't overt enough, and they made some simple errors and oversights, without which it would have been better. What do you think about this one? Whatever your thoughts, keep them fast, keep them furious.
I'm a citizen of the world.